Hey everyone, I'm James. In this yoga flow, we're going to be totally hands-free. So if you have a wrist injury or an elbow injury, this flow is going to be for you. It's also a great opportunity to work from center. That is, not getting distracted by what the arms and the hands are doing and working more from the big muscles closer towards the center of the body. Let's get going. So we're going to start standing. Come on up and come to the front of your mat. As you come to stand, take your feet about hip distance apart. Spread your toes. Just let your arms dangle down for a moment. We're not going to be using them too much in this practice. From here, just settling into your breathing. Just inhaling deeply, filling the upper chest, the sides of the ribs. And as you exhale, really empty all the way down and lightly draw the belly button in at the end of the exhale. And as you inhale, keep a gentle tone to the front of the body. So the belly stays ever so slightly contained for this practice. On your next inhale, sweep the arms forwards and up, join the palms. And exhale very delicately, folding forwards, hands barely touching. Lift up halfway, float your fingers off the floor. And hands free, step the left foot back, take the arms overhead, crescent lunge. Just let your fingers reach up, let your wrists relax a little bit, and releasing down into the hips. As you breathe, really spread the shoulder blades, lift the heart. That sense of opening and lengthening the front line of the body. On your next inhale, firm the tummy, reach your arms forwards like you could offer something with the hands. And as you exhale, draw back. Inhale, reach forwards. Exhale, draw back. Once more. Arms flowing forwards, wrists and hands relaxed, moving back. Come back into center, tuck your back toes and press up into a high lunge. Front knee hovering above your front ankle. Use your inhale to lengthen and lift. And as you exhale, open your arms to the right. Let the arms be quite soft, almost floating on water. Hands aren't doing anything. You could even drop the wrists out, kind of scarecrow arms. That gives you an opportunity to really turn from the torso, turn from the obliques and the spine. But could you keep your breath deep and slow? 2 more. Sense the strength at the center of your body. And the arms are decoration. On your next inhale, come back to center. Turn your back heel down for warrior 2. In warrior 2, drop out the arms for a moment and let them relax. Focus on spreading the mat between your feet, front knee hovering above the front ankle. Back toes are turning in, back leg lengthening, heel down. Now add back in the arms, really light. And for a moment, let's reverse that position. Inhale, lift the front arm, hands are really soft. Exhale, reach the right arm forwards, followed by the left. And again, inhaling back. Twice more, forwards, reach and lengthen. Coming back, inhaling. Exhaling, reaching forwards. Back to your warrior 2. Start to straighten your front leg for triangle. A shorter stance might be helpful, just an inch or 2. Draw your right hip back and offer the right arm forwards. Let that arm dangle down. Now it can rest on the shin lightly or it could float. But focus on turning the chest. You might look forwards here, or if it feels good in your neck, you could look up towards that top hand. But really focus on pressing your back heel down and expanding into the shape, kind of starfish style. On your next inhale, come back to warrior 2. Rest your hands lightly on your hips. Step your back foot 1/3 of the way closer to the front of your mat. Turn your pelvis forwards and re-release your arms down. As you inhale, lift your chest, straighten your front leg. Exhale, fold forwards. Rather than coming down really low, focus on lengthening the front of your body. Reach your fingertips back gently. Reach your right hip back, but take your chest forwards. 3 more breaths. You might notice with the arms in this position, there's a little bit more going on in the abdominals, in the core. And that's just fantastic. 1 more breath. From here, inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, step to the front of your mat, feet hip distance apart. Inhale, arms rise, second side coming up. Send your hips back, fold forward, soften your knees. Lift up halfway, fingers float, spine long. Exhale, step that right foot back, back knee down. Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge, arms rising. Take a moment here, settle into your hips. If your lower back is really bendy, if you ever feel compression in your lower back here, you might experiment drawing the pubic bone up, lifting the front of the hips up to create a little stability in the lower back. From here, as you inhale, reach the arms forwards. Exhale, ripple back and up, twice more. Get a sense that you're moving from the heart, from the chest and from the back. And the arms are just following that, actually not doing so much. This time tuck your back toes, press up, high lunge. If you need to readjust your back foot, that's totally fine. Back heel is off the floor though. Use an inhale to lengthen, reach, lift, heart rising. And this time exhaling to the left. Again, could the arms be really relaxed? They don't have to be straight, they could just be hovering. And use that as an opportunity to really move into the center of the body. Draw the belly in slightly, turn. And really lengthen the back leg, powerful back leg here. On your next inhale, come back to center and warrior 2, back heel down. Again, drop out the arms for a sec. Kind of enjoy the fact that gravity can help release the wrists as you dangle the arms down. But then really focus on spreading the toes, spreading the feet. And consider in your warrior 2, lifting the front hip slightly. So rather than dipping down, lift the front hip a little bit. You might notice something interesting happens to your back leg at that point, the different sensation. Arms release back, and just very gently reversing, breathing in. Exhale, offer the left hand forwards, then the right. And reaching back, inhaling. Exhaling, anchor your back heel as you reach the arms forwards. Create a power line from your heel to your fingers. And inhaling, coming back. And last time, reaching forwards. And coming back. From here, you might shorten your stance a little bit if you prefer that for Trikonasana, but the front leg lengthens. See if your shoulders could relax down your back. Reaching forwards on your next inhale. Allowing that bottom arm to dangle down, top arm lift as you turn. Think about turning the spine. Triangle is a twisting posture in the spine. We sometimes overlook that aspect of it. Left hip drawing back, chest reaching forwards. And again, if you have a very mobile lower back, consider drawing your lower ribs in slightly, supporting the spine from the front. 1 more breath here. And return to your warrior 2. You might rest your hands lightly at your hips. Step your back foot forwards 1/3 of the way. Pelvis square to the front of your mat, both legs lengthen. Arms reaching back like wings. As you inhale, lift the chest, reach the fingers back. And as you exhale, fold over a long front leg. Sense that your left hip can move backwards. Your fingertips can move backwards. But your chest is reaching forwards. Search for that feeling of getting longer in the front of the body rather than curling in and compressing. Keep the front line really long. Just 1 more breath here. And then release, arms come up, breathing in. Step forwards, mountain pose. Building on that same sequence, chair pose this time. Sit back in the hips, arms lift. Taking 5 breaths here. Now your arms can be parallel to the floor, which gives your neck some freedom, and your chest can lift as you sit back. If it feels okay in your neck and shoulders, the arms can be a little bit higher. I avoid compressing my neck in this pose. I focus more on lengthening through the back of it. 2 more breaths. Again, keep the belly button drawn in slightly. Deep breaths into the upper chest. On your next exhale, fold down, Uttanasana. Lift up halfway, float the fingers. From here, step the left foot back, back knee down. Arms lifting, crescent lunge. Settle into the hips. And this time, sweep your arms behind you and really draw the shoulders back. You can notice my fingers and my hands are really kind of not doing anything. I'm totally out of my wrists, but I'm really using that to help work the chest open, drawing my shoulders back. From here, inhale, arms up. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. Once again, on your next exhale, arms open to the right, just for a moment this time. Inhale back to center. Exhale, warrior 2. Shorten your stance again, taking triangle one more time. Reach forwards. And this time, take your hand and point the fingers towards your big toe. If you're very flexible, resist catching the big toe. Just float the fingers towards the big toe. We're going to take this into a tricky half moon, hands-free half moon. Bend your front knee, begin to float. Keep your right hand off the floor. If you wobble and fall over, no worries. Back leg begins to lift, expanding out into the shape. Press your left heel away, flex the foot, turn the chest. 2 more breaths. Tummy is on to help you stay here, working from the center. Begin to step back, warrior 2. Bring your palms together gently, high lunge in the legs. Cross the back ankle over the front knee now, figure 4 in the legs. I'll turn to the side in case you're not sure. So ankle over the knee, figure 4. From here, release your hands alongside the body. Begin to sit back into the hips. Send your tailbone back away from you. And same action really, chest is reaching forwards, tailbone reaching back, getting longer. Now, take your arms out to the sides like wings, reach through the fingertips for a moment, and then drop the fingertips, drop the wrists, shake them out. Really spread through the upper back, feel the collarbones wide, feel the shoulder blades moving apart. Maybe you sit back a little lower. If you're really mobile in the hip, you could choose to lower the chest just above the shin briefly. And now from here, start to release. We're going for warrior 3. Reach your fingertips back, reach the back leg. Standing knee can be a little bit bent. Search for a capital T shape in the body. Breathing calmly here. Work to level your hips, roll your back thigh in. 2 more breaths. That right foot and ankle probably working by now, mine is. And then slowly step to the front of your mat. Check out the foot. From here, inhale, chair pose, 5 breaths. And if this takes more than 5 breaths for you, fear not. We're all individual. The more we practice, the smoother and slower the breathing gets. That's an ever unfolding thing. Again, if your back is very bendy, rather than arching your back, think about drawing your lower ribs in slightly, lengthening the back of the neck. On your next exhale, folding down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, right foot back this time, crescent lunge, arms rising. Whoa. Sweep your arms back behind you, lift the chest. And settling down into the hip. And considering lifting the pubic bone, the front of the hips moving upwards, heart moving upwards. So really feeling your back muscles lifting you here, opening the chest. And then come back to center, tuck your toes, high lunge, rising up. Once again, exhale to the left into your twist, arms wide, belly in slightly. Inhale back to center. Exhale, warrior 2, back heel down. Again, taking a baby triangle, shorten your stance a little bit, and then lengthen and reach forwards, inhaling, exhaling, folding the arm down. Again, reach your fingertips towards your front big toe, spread the arms. You know what's coming this time, half moon. So really draw the shoulders back, reach the arms wide, So your chest and your upper back are in place. So now as you bend that front knee and begin to float the back leg, your upper body is already stable, working from the center. Flex your top foot, press the heel away, turn the chest. The bottom hand is floating, wrists are free. 2 more breaths. Really expand, really open out. Beautiful, return the foot, warrior 2. From here, palms come together gently, back heel lifts, high lunge. Reach your arms beside you, ankle over the knee, figure 4, second side. Really check your foot is free. So your foot is hanging off the edge of the knee, it's not on the knee itself. Your ankle is on the thigh, just above the knee. Hips are moving back, arms are moving out, and drop the wrists, kind of scarecrow arms. With the hands out of the equation, really spread the upper back. Try to be impressive in your upper back. Really wide and open, spine lengthening. We are finding warrior 3 from here. Smooth transition, reach the leg and the fingertips back, take your time. Your standing knee can be a little bit bent, but your hips are starting to level towards the ground. Reach the back toes away from you. Keep the core drawing in, the abdominal region of the core drawing in. 2 more breaths. And then from here, releasing mountain pose. Again, shake out your left foot, give it a bit of a break. Building on that same sequence, chair pose, breathing in, folding straight through this time, exhaling down. We're gonna hold the fold. Bend your knees a little bit, come up halfway, and let's really work the spine here. Let your arms dangle down, fingers dangling. And now draw your shoulders away from your ears, down your back. Send your tailbone up and back, and take your chest forwards, almost like you're drawing your chest through your arms, back of the neck long. And now start to fold. Send your sitting bones up. Your knees can be a little bit bent, or they might start to really lengthen, in which case your hands are just resting or dangling on the floor. And breathing into it. Let your head hang, but keep drawing the shoulders back. Sometimes it's nice to let the shoulders bunch around the ears and relax, but today we're drawing the shoulders away from the floor so the ears and the neck are free, which starts to train those big muscles in the back and the lats, which is really useful for inversions for when our wrists and our elbows are feeling a bit better. From here, inhale halfway up, and exhale, left foot steps back again, same sequence, Anjaneyasana. Offering the arms forwards 3 times, breathing in, breathing out. Twice more. Kind of seaweed-like flowing. This time as the arms reach up, circle the arms back, reach the fingertips away from you. Allow yourself to sit down a little bit deeper into the hip this time. You might breathe here as an optional extra. Start to bend the back knee, bring the heel in towards the glutes. Do not catch the foot. So, chance to work the hamstrings. Sometimes when we catch the foot, we lose the hamstring opportunity in terms of strength. So bring the heel in. Sometimes it gets a bit crampy, so go easy with it, right? Chest lifts, arms reach back. Heel moving in. Beautiful. From here, slide your knee forwards a little bit. High lunge again, arms lifting. Last time through our standing sequence. Exhale, open the arms. Inhale back to center. Exhale, warrior 2. Again, shorten your stance slightly. From here, triangle, same as before. Get a feeling of half moon, arms dangling here. And then bend your front knee, start to find your half moon again, expand into the shape. And now transitioning into warrior 3, revolve around the hip, take the arms back, take the leg back. Finding warrior 3, reach the toes away from you. Ankle across the knee, figure 4, arms coming out to the sides. Pause and breathe here, 2 breaths. As you start to release, come back into warrior 3 one more time. This time, let your arms dangle towards the floor. Let your fingertips drop. Roll your back thigh in. 3 more breaths. 2. And 1. Step to the front of your mat. Shake out your right foot. Nice work. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, folding down. Holding the forward fold again. Inhale, halfway up. Same as before, stick your bum up, reach your chest forwards, get long in the front of the body, and then exhale, fold down. This time, without catching the fingers, take the arms overhead, reach the arms up towards the ceiling or the sky, and then start to take the arms over, working the shoulders without catching anything. Take 2 more deep breaths here. And then come back to center, inhale, halfway up. Exhale, right foot steps back, back knee down. Anjaneyasana, reaching up, sweeping the arms. And offering forwards, going long. Curling back up, lift the heart. Find the back bend here. Reach the arms forwards. Curling back, heart lifting, pubic bone lifting. Last time, arms coming forwards. This time, arms up, circle back. Reach the fingertips behind you. Thumbs are facing the ground. Again, find that lift through the front of the body, the chest rises. And as an option, deepening into it. You might even choose to bend your back knee, bring the heel in. Hands free. As you draw the shoulders back, bring your awareness to the upper back. Feel the muscles working there to open the chest. Feel the hamstrings working on the right side. 1 more breath here. Start to release. Slide your back knee forwards a tiny bit. High lunge, arms lifting. Last time this side, open arms to the left, twisting. Inhale back to center. Exhale, warrior 2. Shorten your stance a little bit, baby triangle. Lengthen and reach forwards. Get a feeling of the expansion. You know what's coming. Spread your left toes. They're going to work. Then start to bend your front knee. Find that floating half moon. Hand off the floor. If you wobble and fall out, no worries. It takes practice. And start to revolve around into your warrior 3 from your half moon. Revolving around the center, revolving around the spine, the pelvic floor, and the shoulder blades. Then the arms and the legs are decoration, right? And cross the front ankle over the front knee. Start to settle down. Whoop. Sit back, arms coming out. Like a bird, an eagle, poised and ready. Hopefully your toes aren't clawing like an eagle. It might do shortly. We're going to get off the leg soon. From here, start to come back into warrior 3. Dangle the hands down this time. Let the fingertips drop. 3 breaths. Roll that back thigh in. Draw the lower ribs in if your lower back is bendy. And now from here, stepping forwards. Shake out the foot for a moment. Just taking a moment to stand, mountain pose. Empty your breath a couple times. Heroic effort. Emptying the breath. On an inhale, sweep the arms up 1 last time. Exhale, folding forwards. Inhale, float halfway up, get really long in your body. Exhale, step the left foot back, lower the back knee down. This time, slide your right foot back, come to a kneeling position. And sitting back towards the heels. If this is super uncomfortable in your legs, it took me a while for my knees to kind of get okay with it. You could be here instead. Just taking a moment to kneel. And if you're sat back towards your heels, turn your palms up. Let your eyes soften, close for a moment. And just tracking the rising of the inhale all the way up into the collarbones. And the falling of the exhale all the way down and out through the lowest parts of the lungs. Using the breath to come back to the center in a mental sense. We've been working from the center in a very physical sense, working from the torso, the core, the pelvic floor, the shoulders. From here, slowly bring yourself forwards. Now you might need to come onto the hands for a moment just as we lower down onto the front of the body. So go easy with yourself. And then reach the fingertips back. We are, of course, going locust direction. Press your hips down into the ground. Reach your fingertips back. We've done a lot of that already. Start to lift your chest, breathing in. Again, the wrists and the fingers can be quite light, but really sense the movement through the shoulders, through the upper back. Start to float your feet, spread the toes, breathing here. I like to look down slightly to the front edge of my mat, because that generally keeps the back of my neck long. That's also a little bit more easy to breathe, I find personally. But try it on for size, see what works. One more breath. And then lower down, turn your head to one side, rest your head on the backs of the hands. As you breathe here, imagine your inhale could reach into your lower back and almost inflate your lower back a little bit. Using the breath to decompress any tension that's built up in the spine. Let's come in one more time. Sweep your arms back, locust reaching up. Now option one, you might breathe here, or option two, without holding the ankles, do not touch the feet, bend your knees, bring your heels towards your glutes. Bow variation. So squeeze the heels in, reach the fingers back, press your hips down. 3 more deep breaths, wherever you are. The back of your body is super strong, and then releasing down. Rest your head in the other direction. If it feels good to you here, you could rock out your hips, or you could even swish your knees side to side. Slowly come back to center. Find your way onto your forearms, if but briefly. Lift the chest into Sphinx. And now gently press through the forearms, bring your knees in, and let's come back to that kneeling position. This time take your knees about hip distance apart and come up onto the knees. Tuck your back toes. And now you might choose to rest your hands at the sacrum, fingers pointing down, if that feels okay. If your wrists are really sore and that doesn't work for you, just let the arms dangle down. From here, breathe in, lift the chest. And as you exhale, gently press the hips forwards. Each time you inhale, chest lifts, spine lengthens. Each time you exhale, get a little support through the belly button, the abdominal wall, moving inwards. Now start to release your fingertips back if that feels okay. Keep the chest lifting. And we're not going to reach for the ankles or heels, even if you do have that range. But keep sending the hips forwards, keep lifting the chest. Glutes are on a little bit, they're lightly engaged. And now either breathing here or keeping your hips moving forward, start to sit back a little bit without catching the heels. It's strong work through your back, strong work through your thighs. And come back to center, come down to kneeling, take a breather. We're going to do that one more time. So again, you could be kneeling tall, not going too far back, or you might start to drop back without reaching the hands for the ground. Go easy with your lower back. If it feels compressed, it may well be. Think about drawing the pubic bone up and keeping the abdominal wall quite firm. Slowly coming back up, tuck your toes. Option one, press the pelvis forwards to initiate. Heart rising. Maybe you're breathing here. Option 2, keep pressing forwards through the pubic bone, lifting it up as you go, but then starting to lean back a little bit. Your hips will now start to move back. Tuck the toes, keep them tucked. One more breath. Slowly come back up and release child's pose. Palms turn up. Take a couple big breaths out. Start to slide your way back up to the knees. And then ease yourself off to one side. We're going to come round to sit. So as you find a seated position, stretch your legs out in front of you. If it's hard to sit tall here, bend your knees a little bit first at least. Wherever you are, think about lifting up out of your lower back. So the lower back lengthens, the chest lifts. Same as the standing forward fold we did. Lots of length in the front line of the body. Now you might be thinking, oh, well, that's really a lot of work in my back, my upper back. Yes. So in forward folds, there is the opportunity to really awaken those areas of the spine that are a little bit harder to identify, that maybe don't move so much, but we have to work with intention. From here, bend your right knee and release the knee out to the side, opening the hip. Your right foot is resting somewhere against the inside of the left leg. Could be the knee, could be the thigh. If it's really hard to sit tall here, again, bend your front knee, let your hands dangle beside you and really lift through the body, regal and proud. If the leg is long, doing the same thing. Now it's great working hands free for seated forward folds. Often when we use the hands, we use them to climb down and we end up curling in. We lose an opportunity to create length and space in the lower back, and also sometimes we actually lose a lot of the hamstring stretch by rounding. So instead, delicately rest your hands on your front leg. Could be the thigh, could be the knee. Roll the shoulders back and let them drop down. Sense lots of space in your chest, collarbones really wide, really open feeling. We're going to maintain that. Inhale, lifting, breathing here smoothly. If it's easy to sit tall here, start to take your heart towards your big toe. Keep reaching the heart towards the big toe. Not getting concerned with coming down low, thinking long rather than low. Double check, have your shoulders started to round and curl in? Chances are you're trying to use the arms in some way to get down. Roll the shoulders back, slide the shoulder blades down the back. Chest reaching forwards towards the big toe. Again, you might notice that with the front of the body long, this is quite a lot of work. It will feel different perhaps than you're used to. One more breath. Start to release. From here, close the knee back in, place the foot flat alongside the inner leg. From here, lift your left arm up and circle the arm around the front shin. Again, just kind of watching if you're working with wrist injury. Inhale, lift tall, again lifting out of the lower back, and exhale, turning. Again, rest your fingertips down on the ground, but don't push with them. Remember, we're kind of hands-free today, so fingertips just kissing the earth, which will mean you're going to have to work much more from center, from the spine, from the lower back, from the abdominals, from the pelvic floor, to lift up. And then as a test, if you release your left arm for a sec, do you suddenly fall out of the pose? So again, if you do, then you're perhaps using your arms to get yourself into poses rather than the strong, stable muscles at the center of the body. Take 2 more breaths. Hands are decoration today. And then come back to center. Release the legs long. Slide the feet in. Bring the feet together, bring the knees together. Again, lift up out of your lower back, lift your chest. From here, offer the palms forwards, knees in, lean back, feet off the floor, knees bent. Keep lifting the chest. Notice it's the same feeling as the forward fold we just did. Lower back long, heart reaching. Option to straighten your legs. Keep the feet joined, keep the knees moving towards each other. Shoulders can relax, arms can relax. The center of the body is not relaxing. One more breath. And then release down. Second side, slide your left foot in. Allow the knee to open out, hip opening to the side. Left foot against the right leg on the inside. Could be the knee, could be the thigh. Again, if it's difficult to sit tall here, bend your front knee, focus more on height than going forwards. If it's easy to straighten your front leg and stay tall, again, rest the hands delicately on the front leg, roll the shoulders back, and think up and forwards with the heart rather than down. And all the while, the breath, steady, smooth. That quality of lengthening and expansion on the inhale. That quality of settling and rooting on the exhale. In the yoga traditions, this interplay of life energy or life force through the body called prana. And the inhale has this upward rising quality, sometimes called prana as a specific movement, but also there's this descending quality of the breath, sometimes called apana, moving downwards. It's a similar idea to yang and yin. Start to come out, reclose the knee, left foot flat. I generally keep the foot about a fist's distance away from the inside of the leg as a general rule or a general guide. Sit really tall, circle the right arm around the front shin and turn into it. And again, remembering your fingertips are delicately resting. If the ground was covered in water, you'd be barely making a ripple with those fingertips. And however tall you think you are, lift a millimeter taller, maybe even more. And again, test it out. Maybe you release the arm. Can you stay where you are? And if you do that and the arms are really relaxed, you'll really feel you're moving from the back. Watch out that front foot doesn't roll out. Sometimes it gets a little bit lazy here. So roll the thigh in, keep your toes pointing to the sky, to the ceiling. One more breath here. And then coming back to center, second and final time in Navasana boat pose. Slide the feet in, reach the arms forwards, palms turn up. Squeeze the knees together, lift the chest. Here we go. Feet floating, chest lifting. And again, option to straighten the legs. Or as a fun option, bend the knees. And to distract yourself, straighten the right leg and rebend. And left leg and rebend. And right and left. And can for 3, 2, keep the chest lifting, and last one, straighten the legs, and release. Draw your knees into your chest, hug your arms around, take a little rock side to side, folks. For a moment, butterfly the hips open, join the feet together. Gently rest the hands on the thighs, the shins, or the ankles. Inhale, lift the chest. And let's take this as more of a yin or restorative. This time really allowing yourself to round down, let your head sink down. Let the hands just rest. And the spine will round here, just allowing that to happen, surrendering to gravity, to the earth. If you've kind of lost touch with your breathing, just reconnect that. Never any judgment around that, not chastising yourself if you forget that you're breathing. Fortunately, the body does it by itself, right? But in the practice, keeping awareness on the breath, there's this calming quality. An even breath, even mind, even movement. Slowly come up from here, bring your knees back together, and we're going to curl down onto the back, lowering all the way down. For a moment, take your arms overhead, You could catch the elbows, or you could simply let the arms rest behind you. Draw the knees in towards your armpits. And just take a little rock side to side. From here, place the feet down. And again, cross your right ankle over your left knee, figure 4. From here, slide your left foot in a little bit closer. If this feels pretty intense and it feels like a nice stretch and release in your hip, stay and breathe here. Option 2, without catching the legs, start to float the left foot off the floor and bring the knee towards the body. So you're using your own strength here through the left side to release the right hip. Option number 3, if that's really easy for you, start to straighten the left leg towards the sky, spread the toes. If the top leg is straight, roll the thigh inwards. It's a little bit like that feeling of boat pose. And then wherever you are, release out, simple switch, left ankle over the right knee. And again, you could breathe here. You could slide the foot in. You might even float the foot. One side will likely be more challenging than the other, or you could even straighten the leg. If the leg is straight, roll the right thigh inwards. And wherever you are, just breathing softly but deeply. Your back has worked really hard in those standing poses, so just letting it settle, giving the legs another chance to shine, as it were. Okay, release down. From here, stretch both legs long. Take a deep breath in and out. Let's finish with a twist. Draw your right knee in towards the body and take your arms out in a T shape. And then allow the right knee to roll over to the side. If it feels good, you could look down along your right arm to the fingertips. Just taking 3 deep, clarifying breaths here. This ability of the breath to feel like it's clearing the body, clearing the spine, clearing the mind. You might invoke that feeling of clarification and of release. Start to come back to center and switch sides. And again, from a traditional perspective, we think about the flow of energy or life force, prana. One of the key channels is up through the spine, and different energy channels rising up through the spine, intertwining. There's a sense as you breathe deeply here that those channels are clearing out the free flow of prana or qi in the Chinese traditions, bringing health and vitality to the body. There's that old saying you may have come across that you're only as old as your spine. So use the breath to help rejuvenate the spine, almost. Slowly come back to center. Let your arms rest beside the body, settling into Savasana. And just be here for a few minutes. Take a deep breath in together and out. And I'll guide you gently through a way of working more actively with Shavasana from a mental perspective. As we scan down through the body, really watching, observant as the body releases down. Just bringing your attention to the crown of your head, to the scalp. Notice any sensations you feel there. And almost inviting the scalp and the skin to spread and release and soften. glide your awareness down to your forehead and your temples, inviting the skin there to spread, release, and soften. Noticing the eyes and the skin around the eyes and the eyebrows. And it's simply an invitation to the muscles and the tissues there to release, letting them know that it's okay to relax, it's okay to let go. And maybe they comply, and maybe they don't. The invitation is there regardless. And then down through the face, through the ears, your nose, your cheeks, your lips. It's that sense of the skin spreading out slightly, ungripping, allowing the tongue to become heavy and quiet in your mouth, and the jaw to ungrip. And the throat is calm and quiet. The shoulders that have worked now release and let go. Inviting that sense of release and softening down through your arms, to the elbows, to the wrists and the hands. And you might imagine that the flow of energy, of prana or chi, maybe simply blood or lymph, it's flowing down through the arms, bringing in nourishment and healing, and clearing out any inflammation or tension, pain. Each breath facilitating that renewal, healing and rejuvenation. Continuing down through your torso, the back becoming quiet and settled, the spine vibrant but calm, the belly calm, the hips and the legs heavy and deeply relaxed, and the feet, the skin at the soles of the feet and the toes spread, and breathe a sigh of relief or contentment. And perhaps taking a moment to maybe relish a body which is vibrant, alive, but at rest. So slowly now, beginning to deepen your breathing again, emptying out. Wiggle your toes, your fingertips gently, and start to stretch the arms out overhead. Find the full length of you, and then walk your feet in. You might hug your knees to your chest, rocking side to side. And then cross one ankle over the other, and just rocking forwards and back a little bit, rocking forwards and back until you rock all the way up and find your way to a seated position. So just closing, palms joining if it feels okay to do so, resting them towards the heart. It's lifting through the chest, through the heart and the spine which is awake and vibrant. The center of the body which is strong and stable and rooted, and a mind which is those things too. The product of practice being a mind which is a little calmer, clearer and more centered, hopefully. Bowing to that, we close our practice here. So thank you so much for joining, folks. I hope this was helpful. Whether you're working with a wrist injury or not, it's a really useful practice, I feel, to really work from the center of the body, and arms and legs can become lighter and more free. And hopefully we feel better as a result of that. If you have any comments, leave them below. Let me know how I can help. Otherwise, have a great week. Enjoy your practice.